Hello, I'm Anthony Noel,
Hello, I'm Robert Reynoso.
and thank you for joining us tonight.
This just in, the U.S. election was said to be hacked by Russian hackers. U.S. intelligence agencies pinned the breach of the Democratic National Committee last October on the Russian government. Vice President Joe Biden promised that the government would send a message to the Kremlin. 2 months later, the White House announced accusations against many Russian officials and companies, kicking out 35 Russian diplomats out of the country.
The Russian hackers who spilled the DNC, Colin Powell, and Clinton's campaign remain busy hacking other elections that are occurring in Germany and France. The failure to end Russia's online advertisement points to a failure in digital diplomacy. Even identifying the hackers has not helped us stop them. Here's Jake with more information on the topic.
Thank you, Anthony. Yes, these past elections were most likely hacked by Russia. On Monday morning, Senate leader Mitch McConnell joined the chorus calling for an investigation. Everyone but the president-elect and his crew accepted the Russian government directed the hacking to either screw up the election or to help Donald Trump win the election. Russia claims nothing to do with this election. Putin declined any involvement with Donald Trump's win in 2016's election. These two nations have been hacking into each other's computer network for a long time now. This possible involvement has negatively affected our two countries. Our trust with Russia has decreased, but that it was not high before. These hacks resulted in public release of thousands of stolen emails, many which included damaging revelations about Hillary Clinton. Trump later calling this flat out ridiculous and just another excuse Hillary Clinton is making for losing the election. This possible hacking also affects the U.S. together, having people go against Clinton's statement or going alongside of Clinton's statement, creating conflicts with the American people and the two parties.
If Putin likes me and if he thinks I'm a good, smart person, which I hope he believes it, I am. Actually, he's right. I am brilliant. You know that, right? But you know what? If he says something positive, that's a good thing. That's not a bad thing.
New revelations from U.S. intelligence officials to NBC News last week indicate Russian intelligence agencies were behind cyber attacks against the Democratic National Committee in July. After the breach, Donald Trump seemed to be encouraging Russia to find and release Hillary Clinton's emails, later saying he was simply being sarcastic.
I'm really concerned about the credible reports about Russian government interference in our elections.
Amid the latest revelations, Hillary Clinton is now accusing Russia of trying to, quote, interfere with our elections, end quote, suggesting that the new revelations prove that the hacking has been designed to bolster Donald Trump.
Thank you, Jake. That was very informative. 4 times in 4 days, Russian aircrafts have flown into Alaskan airspace. The bombers entered the Alaskan Air Defense Zone about 700 nautical miles southwest of Anchorage, then proceeded to fly into Canadian airspace.
Unknown at this time whether the U.S. Air Force scrambled in jets together in response. Let's take a closer look at this and take an in-depth informational review with our head and best reporter, Derek Keenan. Hi, Derek. Please tell us more about this unusual event.
Thanks, Robert. Russian Tu-95 nuclear-capable Bear bombers flew, as you said, about 700 nautical miles over the coast of Anchorage. These flights remain in international airspace, but they're a violation of what's called the Air Defense Identification Zone, and the U.S. tends to respond to this and escort these planes out of the area. Again, this is the 4th time in as many as 4 days. The last time Russian bombers approached the western coast of the U.S. was in 2015. The U.S. defense officials are seeing a major climb in Russian flights near Alaska. Another defense official said there is no other way to look at this other than strategic messaging from Moscow. The United States Air Force does do these types of flights around Russia and other places around the world, so these flights are common. But 4 in 4 days is definitely a significant increase in notice from Russia.
Thank you, Derek, for that wonderful information. My name's Robert.
And I'm Anthony, and here's Derek the weatherman with our final news report.
Thanks, Robert. It's Derek Keenan with the weather. Tomorrow, June 3rd, we have a high of 74 and a low of 53 with sunshine. Sunday, we have a high of 70 and a low of 62, rainy all day. Monday, we have a high of 65 and a low of 54 with thunderstorms. That sucks. Tuesday, we have a high of 74 and a low of 55, cloudy all day. Wednesday, we have a high of 68 and a low of 55, also cloudy all day. Jeez. Thursday, we have a high of 73 and a low of 58, partly cloudy. Friday, we have a high of 77 and a low of 56, with an 80% chance of rain. Saturday, for the boys, we have a high of 75 and a low of 59, also partly cloudy. Have a good weekend.